Please click subscribe in the top right corner. It won't interrupt this video and it'll be your special best friend. Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how to do an at-home haircut for longer hair with layers. So this haircut isn't necessarily to replace a haircut, it is more if you do have long hair, so you don't have layers and you want to add that in, or just kind of polish up a haircut and give it a trim just so that it stays healthy. And also if you like my haircut and this is the shape you want. It's been very requested, and what is new with my haircut and what to tell your hairdresser what my haircut is. So this video is going to be all about my haircut and how to do it on yourself at home. Okay, so first I will describe and explain my haircut and what you can tell your hairdresser. So what I have is just long hair, kind of rounded in the back. Let me show you the back. I did say that I never show you. Here in the back. So you can see that. It's fairly round, but there's not necessarily a definite line, which I kind of like that. The reason why it's also kind of piecey at the end is because my hair is color treated and obviously pieces do break off of it, and in order to grow long blonde hair, obviously you're going to get some breakage off at the ends, and when you have breakage off at the ends, it's impossible to keep that hair just thick in a blunt length line, if you know it, if you understand that. So that is for my length, and then my layers start at about here. That's kind of just where I like mine to start, just because it's just slightly below my jawline. That's what I prefer to have. I think that is universal and beautiful on anyone. So if that's what you want, then that's what you would tell your hairdresser, just for your layers to start below your jawline. And what I also don't have is kind of like that very like blunt layered look. It's very soft throughout. So the easiest way to achieve this haircut, or to kind of do an in-between haircut on this style, I'm going to show you that now. So if your hair is already long, for the ends here, the easiest way is obviously you can't pull your hair back and to the back and align it and cut a perfectly straight line. I do that about once or twice a year with another hairdresser, and he just cuts it straight for me. And then about once a month or every month and a half, then I do this trim at home. So to establish the length, we are going to bring it forward and kind of out. The more direction we give to the hair, the softer it's going to be when it lays. Just because if you bring it down and cut a blunt line, that's how the hair is laying, that's the line you're going to see. So anytime you give it a little bit of direction, and direction meaning, you know, like angling it, you're going to get a softer line when it lays back down. So you always want to kind of, if you're not a very experienced cutter, you want to cut kind of a little bit elevated, just so that you don't risk having a very blunt, ugly line. So you separate the hair completely and evenly through the back, so you have two even sections on both sides. And so if your haircut is done right, they should both meet evenly at the end. So you can start by doing that if they don't meet evenly. And what you always do is always cut vertically like this, never horizontally, just because you're going to get an ugly straight across line. So after you've evened them both out, mine are already even, you're going to grab that whole length and bring it down, so if you can see that, and bring it out straight. So if you have any kind of scrappy hairs, again, you're going to come in and point cut that, never straight across line. So what you're doing is you're not necessarily cutting every single piece of hair, but you are creating a softer, smoother line, and you are getting rid of some dead ends, which is great. So doing obviously the same thing to the other side. So obviously this isn't very viewer friendly, you can't really see what I'm doing, but a lot of you had said that I didn't do both sides of my head, and so it was hard for you to imagine your like finger placement. So I bring it down like that, I measure it and see where I want, you know, to cut off the ends, and then once that is locked in between your fingers, you can bring it up just so that you have a better view of it, and do the same thing. Okay, So that takes care of the length, the outer length. If you have no layers whatsoever and you want to create those layers around your face, the first thing you are going to do is grab this section of hair here. So from behind the ear forward, and you're going to grab all of that hair. So as you can see, mine's already layered, so it's already really piecey, and it almost kind of just feels like it tapers off into a very thin piece. And that's what gives my haircut that very kind of smooth look, where you don't see layers, but it's definitely layered because you do notice that there is, you know, a shorter piece here and a longer piece here. So then you grab, if you do have bangs, separate that piece out first. Then you're going to bring out that chunk of hair, bring it out and start angling it this way. And slithering the scissors down this way. Grabbing that, if that hair starts to slide off, grab it back again. And then you're left with the longest pieces. So you just come in and point cut that. Obviously, if your hair isn't already layered like mine is, what you would get from your hair is pulling it out, and this hair is as long as this one. And so in order to create that layer, you will be cutting at this angle going this way. Since my hair already does that, I don't need to do that. Same thing on the other side. Grab the hair from the ear forward. Bring that forward, separate the piece that is going to be the bangs, or if it already is the bangs. You can comb that over to the other side. Grab that hair up. Bring it up and out, and like you can see, there's already a different length in all of mine because they taper off this way. So if you don't have those layers yet, you will take your hair this way and slide it down this way and just cut slowly. And because you are just sliding down the scissors, it will be a very soft. Like I said, you're not going to have like a big blunt line. Another thing I recommend is if you have very thin, wispy hair, I wouldn't try this at home, only because wispy, thin hair, you see every snip. And thicker, fuller hair is much more forgiving. And so if it's your first time doing it, I just recommend that you have fuller, thicker hair. Now for the back part, which is the hardest part because it's all the way in the back, it's hard to see. So the way to do that is to bring, again, separate it through the middle and the back, and then you're going to bring that all forward. So now you're going to get one big chunk, obviously always leaving out the bangs. But now you have this one long piece, and now you match that back piece to the front piece. And because the back piece is traveling a lot further than this hair here is, it's going to be longer. So you bring it all out together and see how mine already matches. If you don't have layers, yours will not match because you will have the hair on top will appear longer. So you cut it in a straight line, so just straight down. But always point cutting, of course. So, and then when you bring that down, the hair from the back, which travels so much further, when it's brought back, it's a bit longer than the one in the front, but it's all very smooth because all that hair was like traveling in the same direction. Okay. After you've done that, grab, and you can just kind of eyeball this. I know it sounds weird, but you can. Grab a part from, you're trying to marry these two pieces together and give yourself a little smoother layer. So you grab a piece from this front section and a piece from the back section, and you just kind of like grab it, like I said, eyeball it kind of just with your fingers, and then grab that piece out, and you see how it's quite a bit shorter than this, and that's because I've already given myself layers. You just bring it out and again go in and point cut. this is what's going to give your haircut that very soft, smooth, beautiful layered look. Then you just drop that and you see how it just blends in with the rest of the hair. But it gives that illusion of high volume here and then kind of a more tapered long length here. So obviously do the same thing to the back, to this side. So bring it on out. You see how my hair already does that. That's the perfect slope you want for a nice layered look. And so we're just going to go in and point cut again to get rid of some dead old pieces and to just give it a softer, smoother transition. And as you can see, it just blends really nicely. Okay. Then we are going to focus on the bangs, and we are going to separate all the hair that we use for bangs. Okay, and then we're going to bring it up. And then bring it down once it's locked in your fingers, just so you can get a better view on it. And again, point cut all of those pieces to get rid of dead ends and for a smoother transition. And as you can see, it gives you, if you bring it over to this side, it gives you that beautiful slope going that way, or if you wear it down the center like I do. I like a good disconnection from, you know, my bangs to my long length, but I also like it to be a very smooth disconnection so that if I do want to curl or blow it out going this way, it really just marries into the rest of the hair. So I want the best of both worlds. So, and that's how you create it, by always point cutting the hair so that it's very smooth and piecey at the end. And that's what you always want. You want the pieces to be wispy and smooth and piecey at the ends, just so that it kind of marries with the rest of the hair. It's kind of like when hair does this, when it's very blunt sitting on top of something, you're always going to see that hair. Whereas if you do this to hair, this one kind of starts to mingle with the hair under it, and it kind of becomes one long piece of hair, if that makes any sense. Another thing that this has helped with my hair, having wispy ends like this, say when you do have breakage up, which I do some back here, see how this is quite a bit shorter? The fact that it's wispy, it blends in with the rest of the hair, and when you grab a piece like this, it looks like this piece is actually long all the way down to here. So that's what we want. We want even color and wispy pieces so that it all blends and gives the illusion of very healthy long hair. Okay? So that is my new rendition on my haircut and how to achieve it at home. So I hope this was easy enough to follow from your home, and may you have gorgeous blended long hair. So thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. If you try it, let us know how it turned out, and just please leave comments and suggestions down below. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye. And don't forget to watch my new video every Monday.